Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to this week's energy forecast. I'm Sarah Louise. I'm an intuitive, a reader of the cosmic weather, and I'm here to share with you what's coming up this week. So what energy is going to be around and how you can best navigate yourself through the week. Actually, I'm going to talk a little bit about the year too. So, it's 2026. This is my first little reading going out of this year, and I did quite a big end of year reading forecast. So if you didn't see that, just check back on that. And if you did, hello, welcome to this new year. So my friends, if you're feeling a little bit like, okay, it's the second week of January, I don't really feel like it's a new year. I don't feel like the energy's shifted or changed. I still feel like I'm in that kind of old of 2025, like it hasn't gone boom, okay, let's go, new energy. Then don't worry, you're not alone. Yes, we've definitely shifted into new numerology. So we've gone into a 1 year, which is, new beginnings, the beginning of a new cycle. So that's definitely happened. But for me, the energy doesn't fully shift until we get to the end of March. And that for me, I follow the astrology calendar, and that for me is always where I feel that real new energy coming in, and it feels more in flow, and it feels like that new beginning, and it feels like, oh yeah, I can make changes. We've also, and the Chinese New Year doesn't start until February 17. So I feel like January, February, March, it's this kind of slow, gradual kind of beginning of the new year. So it's like we're kind of warming up for the new year. Yeah, and when it actually kicks in at the end of March, it's a very fast moving, I don't want to say hectic, but it's definitely quite frantic, quite fast moving. There's lots happening. We've got 12 very big planetary shifts and alignments coming in this year, that each of them are quite pivotal. I'll talk about them as the year goes on. We are moving from, in that Chinese astrology, from a snake to a horse. So if you think about snake, it's all about kind of shedding, and it's quite slow, and it's quite internal. Yeah, we're going into, I think it's a fire horse as well. We're going into a horse year. So that's like, it's powerful, it's forward momentum, it's fast, there's movement. Yeah. So, that kind of shedding and that releasing is kind of, the energy's shifting massively. Yeah, but I feel like it's kind of gradual over these next couple of months. And as I say, March 21st, depending on where you are, when that first equinox hits, that new astrology new year begins, that new astro calendar starts, that's where I feel like we're like, let's go. So it's not about resting between now and then, although rest is very much needed by most people on this planet. But it's about kind of preparing your legs before you go for the run. That's a really good analogy of how to say it. Yeah, it's, it's kind of putting down the groundwork. It's doing the kind of prep work. It's that. Because once we kick off end of March, then it's like, whoa, go. And don't get me wrong, February is not going to be a quiet. We've got our first eclipse season coming in at the end of Feb, and that's pretty hectic. But it feels like we're just a little bit kind of not stuck, but it's like, we're kind of bringing in new alignments and new energy, and, we're in this 1 year, but it's, let's go. And then the gates open and that horse is galloping. So what are you going to do between now and then? You're going to do all your prep work. You're going to journal. You're going to rest. You're going to look after yourself. You're going to remember your nervous system, and you're going to really work on your daily habits, and you're going to start to think and plan and start putting down the prep work and, finding your feet and strengthening your legs, but we're not going. Yeah? Yeah. This week there isn't too much happening energetically that I feel that's going to consume us, but I do feel we're heading towards that first new moon in Capricorn, and it's the first new moon of the year, but it feels more about endings and letting go and reassessing than it does about manifesting and bringing in new. But I feel as we're kind of moving, we're really learning more about the new us, because remember, we're not who we used to be. So it's things like, alignment over obligation, and things like, if it doesn't feel right, we don't push through anymore. If it feels uncomfortable, we speak up. Yeah. If we don't want to, we don't. Yeah. People pleasing, running around, those days are gone, gone, gone. Yeah. Gone. So what I want you to do over these next, February is going to come in with that eclipse. We're going to have to do some work then. So what I want you to do over the next few weeks is really practice how do you stay grounded? How do you stay embodied? I've called this the year of embodiment. And I'm going to be doing lots of practical work with people I have a new launch coming, which I'm desperate to put out there, but it just doesn't feel quite right yet. But it's all about embodying. Yeah, embodying who we are, embodying our energy and being grounded to the earth. Yeah, because that's really important this year going forward. It's going to get very busy out there. Yeah, we know how distracted our minds can get. We're living in this, scroll, everything's now. And that's going to come more, more and more and more. There's enough people out there talking about AI and robots and all of that, but it's this instant is kind of, I don't think it's that good for us, right? It's great in many ways, but what it's doing to our nervous system and our energy can be a little bit overwhelming. So we have to really practice being in our bodies, grounded and aligned. And how do we do that? Yesterday I was feeling a bit funky. I went and did a hot yoga class. Oh my God, I came out feeling like a different person. A couple of days ago, I was really in my head. I was like, get out of your head. I did some candle gazing meditation. Oh my God, it was incredible. A few days before that, I was like, I need to move and walk and just be in nature. I need to touch leaves. I need to feel nature. Yeah, and it doesn't matter if every day is different, because we're different every day, but I want you to really have your toolbox. Yeah, and just know what I need to, if you need to do your breath work daily, if you need to do your chanting daily, then do it. Get into a really good routine now. So by eclipse season coming in February, March, that new year, horse taking off, like, when that momentum comes, it's like, it's okay, like I can do it, because I know how I'm going to stay grounded and aligned and embodied as I move through this. And the shifts and the changes that are coming in with these planetary alignments this year are huge, evolutionary. Yeah, it's a big year of change, big. Yeah, and we want to be kind of grounded in our bodies, in our center, in our power to make decisions when they come up. Yeah, when we need to. We don't want to be making them from our hectic minds. We want to be making them from our feeling body. Yeah, where we're really kind of head and heart. What's that word? Coherence. Yeah. We're aligned. Yeah, it's going to be so important this year. So this week, what are you going to do? You're going to practice those. You're going to rest when you need to. You're going to journal. You're going to slow down. You're going to do what you need to do. You're not going to be worried if you don't feel like the year's started. You're going to, be planning. You're going to be energetically clearing out space for the new to come in. Yeah? You're going to look after your nervous system, because our little nervous systems with all this hectic energy are pretty fried. Yeah, so what does looking after your nervous system mean for you? Yeah? That new moon that's coming up next weekend, as I say, it feels more about cleaning space, clearing rather than manifesting. Our manifesting's going to come, and if we're aligned and we're coherent and we're in our center, we're going to learn that we can manifest like this. Yeah? But we've got to get this clear. Yeah? This really is a reflection of what's going on externally. So we have to practice keeping it clear, keeping it centered, focusing on what we want, staying light, staying positive. If we start looping and going over here with, the what ifs and the old and the patterns, that's what we're going to create more of. Yeah. So we come back to our center. Okay. Yeah. Break the loop. Come back to center. Am I focusing on what I want to create more of? No. Okay. What do I need to do? Get into some stillness. Get into nature. Break the pattern. Start again. It's a beginning, new beginning. It's a 1 year. What am I going to create from here? I know what I've created over there. I know what I've created in the past. It doesn't have to be my future. Take the bits that we like. Leave the rest alone. Yeah, stay here. Get in the body, feel into the body, get out of that crazy old mind. Or how does it feel? Yeah. I'm excited. It's going to be a really good year if that's what we're putting out. It's going to be super positive, and yes, there's always lessons, but the blessings can come twofold. Yeah. We just got to work really hard on staying here, because out there the chaos is going to get louder. It's going to get busier. It's going to get more consuming. It's going to get more distracting. Yeah, and your job is to stay here, not be out there. Yeah, and really be so aware of what you're focused on, what you're creating. I love you all. Have a beautiful week. Take it easy. Yeah, one step at a time. There is no rush. That horse ain't here yet. The year ain't started yet. Yeah, we're just still wrapping up a little bit of that old. Yeah, if old stuff comes up, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to end this here. I'm going to not take it into that new cycle. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you on Sunday, next Sunday. Yeah, and that will be on that new moon. So I'll talk a lot more about the energy of that. So have an amazing week. Great to be back, and I send you all lots of love.